I'm going to ask you about Just Stop Oil because you'll know a thing or two about this. My sort of aim in life is to work out who these people are, what sort of setup they've got. I can't find any corporate entity that's called Just Stop Oil, which is realistic. I can't find a charity. Dale Vince says he gives the money to some bank account that he doesn't know who runs it. I mean, surely to God they should be paying tax in some way, shape or form, shouldn't they?
Well, they should be paying corporation tax if they're a company.
Yeah.
If for individuals, is it a gift? You've got to pay tax on gifts.
Over £3,000 if it's a gift, you've got to pay tax. Yeah.
Yeah. So they seem to be operating outside the normal level of existence in the United Kingdom.
And I think it's time we went after them because they're causing a lot of problems in London in particular. And I just don't think that... I think, you know, the problem with Britain is we always play fair with people. That's why we've got immigration problems. That's why we've got problems with all sorts of organisations. And that's why we let these idiots kind of dictate to us. I think it's time to get a bit tough on them.
Well, the cops seem to be at last dragging them off the streets. That's an advance, I would say.
It is an advance. Let's talk a bit about Scotland. It's been another interesting week up there. We're still waiting, presumably, for the other shoe to drop when it comes to the SNP investigation that's going on with the police and the motorhome and the missing money. Why has it gone so quiet, do you think?
It's gone quiet because the investigation is very complicated, and it's gone quiet because I suspect they're waiting for the... Well, no, sorry, put it another way. The deadline is the resignation, retirement, call it what you like, of the Chief Constable, which is going to happen in the summer. And the view is, or his view is expressed to the senior ministers, is that he wants the thing sorted before he retires, so he doesn't hand it on to successor.
Right.
Now, that's not going to happen until August. I'm afraid it appears we might have to wait that long before something else happens. For instance, Nicola Sturgeon says, and we've only got her word for it, that she has not even been interviewed by the police in connection with this inquiry.
Which I find astonishing.
Well, if you ask the police if that's true, they won't tell you. They won't confirm or deny that story. Anyway, her husband has been charged and then subsequently freed, pending further inquiries. The treasurer of the SNP is in the same boat, and Nicola Sturgeon says she's not been interviewed. So there we are in complete limbo. The people of Scotland, people of the United Kingdom, we don't know what on earth's going on.
Right. It's astonishing, isn't it? I mean, meanwhile, we've got the Alba Party in the form of Alex Salmond talking about having a sort of coalition of the independents so that they can perhaps achieve independence without the SNP. What are the chances of that happening?
Pretty slim. I think independence is on a back burner. Not on a back burner. It's caught fire.
It's burned out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's burning to a frazzle. They're in a terrible state, and it looks like in every parliamentary event that occurs, they're getting more and more ratty about people daring to criticise them. It's sad for people like me who makes his living by attacking them. I don't want them to go, not yet anyway.
But it's true, isn't it, that the SNP have totally squandered the gift that was given, a bit like Boris Johnson squandered the 80-seat majority. They've completely squandered their opportunity to get independence. I don't think it'll ever happen now. No,
you're absolutely right. They've shown a total... The good thing about Alex Salmond, and I'd say it to his face, he lost heavily in the independence referendum, but prior to the referendum, Alex Salmond at least put on a show of a competent government. Whereas this lot, everything they touch, education, health service, everything they touch, transport, turns to dust. They can't get anything right, and now they're even the way they run their own party is being investigated by the biggest operation Police Scotland's ever mounted.
Yeah. And what are you hearing about the next election in terms of Labour seats and the possibility that Labour can kind of crawl back into government if they can get some seats? I'm hearing they might not get any more than about 15 seats off the SNP.
Well, I thought they'd get more than that until this ridiculous position that emerged that they're going to shut down the North Sea oil and gas fields. I mean, that's nuts. Right. And by the way, the rumour up here, the talk in the street up here, is that it's not a Steer Karma. It's not a Keir Starmer policy, but it's an Ian Miliband policy.
Right. Well, I think I just spoke to the man that made the policy. That's Dale Vince.
Well, whoever's behind it is going to lose Labour seats in Scotland, no doubt about it. And it's good news for the Tories, and God knows they need some good news. These seats in the north east of Scotland could easily be won back by the Tories.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I mean, that is the problem in Scotland, isn't it? That it appears to be a country in sort of limbo at the moment. Nobody knows really how long Humza Useless is going to be in charge. He doesn't appear to be doing anything while he is in charge. And meanwhile, as you say, everybody's just waiting for the result of the police investigation.
Yeah, nothing's... Well, I don't... Yeah, we're in a total state of stasis. Nothing's happening anywhere. The Scottish Parliament will rise for the summer recess in a couple of weeks, and then we go into a great long recess until September. Meanwhile, the large motorhome still resides in a police pound, having been seized from Nicola Sturgeon's mother-in-law's drive.
I was wondering if he could hire it out for the sort of Glastonbury festival season.
I was waiting for you to say that, actually, but you'd probably be able to afford buying it. It's only 120 grand, Mike, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I know. But you don't get a driver with that, though, do you?
Well, you could afford that as hell. You wouldn't have to pay much. One of your old mates from Glasgow would do that.
Probably so. But then, of course, you've got the ULEZ charge, or the Les charge, as they call it in Glasgow. I had Donald McLeod down here yesterday moaning about that. It's ridiculous.
You're not thinking of driving a motorhome through the middle of Glasgow. Surely you've got at the very least.
I've already done that. I once took my kids down to Devon, but I had to pick up the motorhome in Kilmarnock. It was a freebie. I've never seen anything like it. Ridiculous. I nearly turned the thing over.